Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It's your buddy, Mr. G. Today, we're going to talk about our new product, the Parody Product, our Parody Project. And to do this project, we are going to go and find some products and some logos and maybe some movie posters. It's really kind of open to interpretation about what you want to do. What we're going to do is we're going to change the typography and the images of what we're looking at so that we can make comic effect. That's essentially what we're trying to do here. For instance, I've got some examples here. We're going to take like the Chicago Bulls here, and we're going to change that to projects like this, where we have the Chicago Ghouls. We do that by changing the actual typography and the images here. Another one right here. We're going to take the Doritos bag here. We're going to change that, and we're going to hide some things on here, and we're going to change this into volcanoes. I put that little taggy up there here, and then we'll put in a graphic there with lava cheese to make that work. I have the Miami Heat here, and I've masked off some things here, and I've changed that so that we can have the Miami Feet. So, and here is another one where we've got Marlon Brando, and we take and we make the Mandalorian into the Brandalorian. Okay, so in each one of these cases, we need to hide some things. So the main tool we're going to use for this project is the content aware fill. Now the content aware fill, to find it's up here in edit, and we'll go to fill, and it'll be content aware fill. Now we can fill with foreground colors. That'll be helpful sometimes. Most of the time we're going to do this. Get a selection going here. Go ahead and Command Shift D. We've made a selection here. I want to hide my Doritos here, right? So I want to change those into a volcano. I'm going to change that to the words Doritos into volcanoes and change it. That's my idea. That's what I want to do. But I got to get rid of my Doritos here to start with. So I'm going to go to Edit. And I'm going to go to Fill, and I'm going to set it to Content Aware Fill. Okay. Now I can sample in here if I have areas I want it to work from. So I could like sample this area here. Just click there. It gives an area to start with, and it's got this color abstraction. What it's going to do is use some artificial intelligence, kind of look at the image and decide what pixels can be filled in there and what to fill them with based on what's in the image. So I'm going to push OK here, and we're going to give it a second, and bada boom, bada bing, it disappears. Now, it's not always going to work 100% soon. This is kind of in a big red area, and I sampled a red area, so that worked pretty good. Okay, so that's one example. Let me go up here, and I'll try to like hide this D. Okay, in some cases, you might have to do a little extra work to do that. Let me show you a case here. Command Shift D. If I want to hide that D there, or if I want to hide this whole word Doritos, I'm going to assume it probably is not going to work super well because it has a lot of going on there. So let's go to fill, content aware. I'll sample this bag down here again and say, okay, it'll think about it. Boom, it does a pretty good job, but you can see it kind of makes some goofiness in here, which you may be able to hide or work with, or maybe not. But that gives you a couple examples there. So let's go ahead and Command Z, okay? Let's talk about changing words. So if I can hide my words, and I change this obviously to volcanoes, I got to get rid of that word. So how do I find that? So Command D. Well, to find that, I generally have to go to the internet. Okay, so I could go in here and I could just go and type a bunch of words and look for a font that's similar. Okay, that works sometimes. But oftentimes I'll just go to the internet here and I will look at defont.com. That's where we're going to get our fonts. It's a safe place we can get fonts. So if you know, like I could go in here and say like Star Wars. Let's type in Star Wars. And you can see I've got some Star Wars fonts. These look like the Star Wars logo, and I got some other little icon ones that people have made. And then I've got some different ones down here that may be something that you could use. And then you can download these fonts and install them on your machine. You can use them in Photoshop. Okay. I went, and you can also, here's like I was looking for the Mandalorian here. So I typed in, you can also just do, let's see, there's the foot I used for our Miami feet. I could say, what was I looking for? So Doritos fonts. Search that, and I came up with a conversation on on a blog here, and it says Doritos font is try this RoboFine, which is on the font. So I click on there, and I've got this. So I downloaded it and installed that. So let's go ahead and bounce back over here. I've already got it installed, and I'll go and I'll get my type tool, and I'm going to type in white. Let's say OK, and I'll type V, all caps, Volcanoes. There's an E or an ES on that. We're going to go with just volcanoes like that. I'm going to get my move tool, and I'm going to blow this up so it is about the same size. Now, I get that same size. Go ahead and commit that there. Okay. Now, my best indication of how to make this font here is what is on the original Doritos bag. So I see it has a bevel, and it's got like kind of a black, a red, and a black stroke all the way around it. So I can do those things by going here and just double clicking, and I can add a bevel and emboss there. Got that right there. I've got a chisel hard embossment already set that does that. I've got some strokes set in there, and I'll do a stroke. Let's do this black. Let's say OK, and then maybe I'll add another stroke here, and I'll make that this red, but this one, let's make it a lot thinner. I can set how big it is. Let's make that, I don't know, 5, something like that. But you can see that's how I'm going to actually match my typography to what I have here. Okay. And it'll take some time, some playing around. Okay. But that's what we're working on this week. Hardest part about this project is coming up with an idea. So go off, come up with an idea, go look around on the internet, go look at some products you use, look at some sports logos, sports teams you might look at, and try to find a project that you can change the typography and the images in order for comic effect for this. Have a super duper day. I'll see you in class. Stay creative.